What's up, everybody? This is Jose Ortiz back at it once and again. Glad to have you guys with us. Um, this is the design channel where we're talking all things design, going through the big pieces, the small pieces, everything in between. Primarily, this is a work by doing channel, which means it's more of like a discussion based thing where I'm talking through some of the work that I'm doing, and I'm hoping that you guys are picking up little small bits and pieces from different methods and techniques, going back and trying it on your own and seeing where it goes from there. On today's episode, I thought we could do like an illustrative sort of poster. So it's not gonna be too. The other posters we've done have been like very like event orientated. The last one we did was the Drake album poster. This one is gonna be like philanthropic in a way. So I just want to bring awareness to like water consumption in the United States or the world. Just because I think it's very important as a designer to make work that's relevant, that's has a meaning, has a purpose. A lot of times we want to make cool things and show it off and share it, and that there's a time and a place for that, but there's also real life things going on in the world, and as a designer you can definitely use your skills to make that impact, spread that message. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to open up a file on Illustrator and a file on InDesign. I'm going to make them 11 by 17, standard tabloid size. All right, new document, 11 by 17. I'm going to go ahead and hit preview on that. All right, just because I want to get a feel for the margins. They look pretty good, but just so we know, my margins are on 1/2 inch and the bleed is on 1/2 inch around. Hit create. All right, first things first, we're going to do what we've done with our other posters, which is to set up our baseline. I'm going to go ahead to view, grids and guides. I'm going to hit show baseline grid. Right now you can see it, but you got to get that close to it, and we don't want that. So we're going to go to InDesign. We're going to go to preferences, and we're going to go to grids. We're going to change this threshold to 25%. We can start this at the top of the page right when it begins and hit OK. And there you have it. Next step is we want to make sure that we have some columns. So we're going to go to margins and columns. Going to increase the number of columns, and yeah, 4 seems pretty decent. I mean, this is not going to be, yes, 4 seems 5. Yeah, 5, even 5 seems cool. All right. And the last thing we'll do is layout, and we're going to go to create guides. I'm going to throw a couple rows in there. We're going to take out the gutter. And 6 is fine. And we want to make sure that they're fitting to the margins. So as we look around our document, we have all our lines in place, our rows and our columns. And we basically just took a blank document and we kind of like chopped it up into these smaller workable parts that now make it easier to understand what we're getting ourselves into, and makes it easier to understand how we can organize the information on this page. I'm going to go ahead and hit save for now. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my creative exercise folder where I put all of these smaller exercises, projects, creative exercise, and we're at number 12. I'm gonna go back to Illustrator, and for right now, we're just gonna start working on this illustration. And I sort of figured it could be primarily like a silhouette illustration. I'm just really big on like simplicity and minimalism. So, like I figured like a figure background type of illustration would be perfect for this sort of idea. And the key word or the key number that we're going to be using is 0.3%. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. All right. So 0.3% is very important because that's actually how much fresh water is available to us on the surface of the earth in liquid form. So that's huge. So it means all the water that we drink and for, most intents and purposes, bathe with, wash our clothes with, or do our dishes with, all that. That's only 0.3 of the water that we can use. And it's going fast. Water consumption is one of the biggest ecological threats right now, is along with the warming of the atmosphere. So, those two, big climate change trends, one, they don't look good, and two, they can use a lot more awareness, because even though it's getting better, I feel like the awareness, people still don't realize the extent that like we need these resources to thrive on this planet. So before I go into a whole spiel too long, I'm just gonna say 0.3% is our special number, and I'm gonna just basically be making the zero look like a water drop. So let's go over to this. And I just want something that's like an illustrated because I'm going to basically make my own water drop. Right. I'm just gonna go with this one for now. We don't need to find the perfect one because we're gonna be doing some changes to it. All right. Gonna make sure it's selected, and we're gonna go to transparency. Turn it down. And then we're gonna go to our pen tool. Oh, first we'll obviously have to lock the image. So I'm gonna try just honestly making it like a line and then thickening the line as we need it. And then if I need to, I can go back and even do it the other way. All right. I'm intentionally not trying to follow the shape that much, just because I do want it to be a little bit unique in its own way. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna leave this alone for now. I just want to see how it's gonna work with the idea that I have in mind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm basically just going to apply a brush effect to this drawing. Brushes. We're gonna go to grunge brushes. All right, and we got a bunch here. Now I'm gonna see how some of these look. Oh, excuse me. Very tired. This one's pretty cool because it's kind of fading where most of the drop should be itself, and it's like a metaphor for like there's not a lot left. So I can see that. So let's just try something like that. Alright, I'm just gonna have to save this. I'm so used to saving things that I'll be working on them, for not that long. Already have to figure out the name. So I'm working on it. Alright. Cool. Now for the 0.3, when it working multiples of 12, so I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing, but that would make sense. Zero 0.3%. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. And what if I thickened up the stroke on this thing? A little too thick. Drop it right there. Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, say that was our thing, our poster, right? So, now let's begin to mock this up in InDesign to get it properly spaced out. I'm just going to drag this here. I'm just going to call this water drop. And I'm just going to make sure that it's saved in the right place. Yes, indeed. Make sure the settings are right. PNG. And base transparent savings. And we're at 300 ppi. Alright. Perfect. That is now exported, and we can move on to InDesign. Okay. Oh, there we are. Like so. Then we're gonna right click, and you could just click it like that, like leave it highlighted, and then you go to File, Import. Or you can do the way that typically I go, which is just to actually find the folder and drag and drop it. I find that easier just because if there's other things I need to drag and drop, I don't have to go and keep hitting OK and confirm and all that other stuff on the software. I can just drag them all onto the computer. So alrighty. There we are. I was like, what did I call it? Okay. Like so. There's something I really like about that raindrop, I have to say, so I'm just gonna work on the next page. Alrighty. So let's start the text box. Character. And I'm just gonna put and I just need to figure out what font was this. Courier regular. there is a Courier, and there's a Courier Prime. I could have guessed that. Alrighty. Hmm. Is it weird? I don't see it. Oh. There we go. Took a while to get that going, I have to say. I'm gonna hit right click. I'm gonna hit text frame options so that I can adjust my baseline to the leading or the baseline. All right. Perfect. All right, this is starting to look good. Just a little bit more over. Just being picky. A little bit more over. A little bit more. All right, cool. Now the next step to this is really simple. I'm just gonna say save water. That's about it. We're gonna wrap this up. Courier. Let's start with 200. Text frame. Where I brought these two one more level. Alrighty. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna adjust the leading on this thing. Because it also shouldn't even be 200. It's got to be on derivative of 12, so it's gonna be 204. And 204. Could even be a little smaller. 204 minus 24 is 180. All right, a little bit more tighter. All right, now let's adjust this nudity to that line. All right. To properly do this, it probably needs to be 192. And we're gonna expand the bottom. And we're gonna bring it up. And there it is. Each word is on its own column. I mean, its own row. And pretty much that's it. The last thing I'll say that we could do to this to make it more interesting now is just playing with color and, you know, etc., etc. Okay. Now, what if, you know, everything was white? Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Now, what if I did the black background? See how that turns out. There's so many different color schemes and combinations to work within too. Alrighty. I'm going to send this all the way to the back. That's pretty cool. Save water, guys. So, you know, there you have it. That's a quick poster design. It's something that has a meaning, it has a purpose. You can share this. I could probably spend like another hour or two on this. It always feels like I can spend more time on these designs, but I just wanted to do this to show you guys how fast, simple, and easy it is to make something that's culturally relevant and it's socially important, as well as environmentally important. And you don't need any fancy photo technique or anything like that. You just need a message and you need metaphor, right? So I literally took the zero of the 0.3% and I just changed it into a water drop. And that's literally how much water we have. The last thing that I would put on here, somewhere between the 0.3, and the save water, maybe even around right here, is some wording. I could put some information there regarding water consumption. Um, you know, there's some more room to go here in terms of information. Conversely, I could always bring up the save water and then put information at the bottom. But yeah, so that's the basic structure for this poster. I hope you guys had enjoyed today's episode, showing this stuff off. Listen, if you guys do enjoy this stuff, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notifications, comment. Let us know what we're doing, if we're doing a good job or not. We want to improve these, time and time and again for you guys. This is a, discussion based graphic design episode, graphic design show, which means I don't treat it like a classroom. I treat it like I'm a designer and I want to talk to other designers and make cool stuff together. So yeah, that's enough spiel for today. Listen, you guys have enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm out.